Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Disney Morning Show. I am Kyle, and today I'm joined by Tony. Good
Hello
morning,
again.
Tony.
At
Or
this
good
point,
afternoon.
am I like the Joan Rivers who's going to get banished when I get my own show someplace else?
See, I don't know, because
Filling
I've
in.
been alternating between you and Luke.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see. Maybe if you sign a contract with NBC, you can take over the role in 5 years, and then I will come back and kick you out, and you can go to TBS, and that might be relevant in today's news somehow. But do we have any hellos to say before we get on with
Well,
the
so
normal
far we've
news?
got hi to Geo. Good morning and salutations to you, Fred. Thanks for joining us on
Well,
this
let's take a
lovely
look.
Friday.
Let's see how lovely it is when we check out the Disney stock.
Okay.
So when Luke and I were here on Wednesday, it was back over $100, doing strong. It was at $170, $100.76 today. $98, just down 2.5% almost on the day. That is not great. I sent Doobie a thing earlier and said, "We are so back. We are so not back. We're gone again. We've been lost in the wilderness."
So it's your fault. You jinxed it.
Basically, I do control the stock market. I don't know if you knew that, but which
That's
is
why
why
you're
I
always
make
so
myself
busy
lose money.
now.
It's smart.
Okay. Hi to
Anyway,
Kevin too, real quick.
hi Kevin. Nice to see you. And let's get on with the weather. Here's Ethan.
Hello there and welcome to another edition of the LP Disney Weather Report. This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. And while she looks so sad in photographs, I absolutely love her. When she smiles, how many days in a year? She woke up with hope, but she only found tears. And I can be so insincere, making her promises never for real. As long as she stands there waiting, wearing the holes in the soles of her shoes, how many days disappear? When you look in the mirror, so how do you choose? Your clothes never wear as well the next day, and your hair never falls in quite the same way. You never seem to run out of things to say. Let's get to the weather, appropriately for the launch of Season of the Force today. Anaheim has ordered a high of 66 with mostly cloudy skies. Walt Disney World will break into the 80s today and will be partly cloudy. Castaway Cay will be 74 and windy today. Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point is 76 today but with windy conditions and partly cloudy skies. Disneyland Paris is getting some precip this evening but should get some dry time before park close. As for the temp, it's around 48. Showers and light rain are expected for much of the day in Tokyo tomorrow, which will also cause them to cool from a 50-degree high in the early morning to the mid-40s by lunch. Shanghai is in for a cloudy day tomorrow, keeping the real feel high to just over 50. Lastly, Hong Kong will be overcast tomorrow and top out at just 65 degrees. And that will do it for another Disney weather update. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Well, before we get to the actual news, Tony, can you give me the song title and artist that Ethan sang?
Oh, no. I know the song. I can't think of who it is right now.
Okay, well, it's by.
Also, how did Ethan almost sound like it?
I know. I was like, the cadence was almost there for this one. I was shocked. I had just completely forgot the name. It includes a 9.
Story of a girl.
So it's called Absolutely parentheses Story of a Girl. But it's by 9 Days. Okay, I almost did a different song by Stroke 9. Do you know what song that is?
Not a fan.
Oh, it's like the Little Black Backpack.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, one of the things Ethan mentioned.
Geo says Stitch ate the stock.
Nice.
And Nikki points out that Ethan is evolving. He's learning rhythm.
I guess so. Or at least, I thought it was a 90s song. Actually released in 2000, it looks like. But anyway. Ethan mentioned that today is the start of Season of the Force, and with that, Disney gave us a first look this morning at the new projection show that's going to be debuting called Shadows of Memory: A Skywalker Saga, and our first look at the front of the Luke Skywalker character that's going to be appearing in the land. So there are some pretty projections, and then we'll take a look at this Luke Skywalker. That I am on mute. we were having some fun with this in the chat this morning, mentioning how it doesn't look that much like Luke Skywalker.
We're not the only ones. If you check
Okay.
out the comments on the various posts that they have made.
Oddly,
across
the thing
different
that stuck
platforms.
out to me the most is that he has brown eyes and not blue
Yeah.
eyes.
A lot of people were commenting on how young he looks. A lot of people were pointing out his footwear. Apparently, it's a popular Chanel boot.
Okay.
So people were calling that out.
At least it wasn't an AI generated boot, right?
Sure, that might cause less controversy, but.
But yeah, so Season of the Force begins today. We'll have both Mike and Eric there covering all of that. So you can look out we'll have a live blog. We'll be tweeting it. We'll have a walk and talk later at 1 p.m. Pacific. So tons of coverage from the Star Wars event coming your way. And that'll be running for a couple of months. So if you're in Disneyland for the next couple of months, you'll be able to check that out. But
Gio wants to add, remember that they will also have that. They had that weird one at Studios too. Back in, I'm guessing for Star Wars weekends,
probably,
which was another comment on a lot of comments on the social media posts where, well, if Disneyland could do Season of the Force, why can't you bring Star Wars weekends back?
Yeah,
good question.
Well, because Star Wars weekends was a little bit lighter, but yeah, they should totally do that. Next up, Disney, the D23 is going to be hosting another Spotlight Series event celebrating 20 years of Duffy and Friends. This will be on May 3rd. Held at the Walt Disney Imagineering campus in Glendale, California. And I just wanted to point out a couple of things that made me laugh. So this is going to be, like I said, the tickets go on sale in about 23 minutes, appropriately enough. The cost is $33 plus a $3 processing fee. And then it says a Starbucks event exclusive drink will be available for purchase on location, which makes it sound pretty exciting, but it's kind of like, the Disney Spring stores do this. They kind of will lean into different things that are happening. It's like a slight modification on an existing drink. Sometimes they're a little bit more creative, but yeah, I think a Starbucks event exclusive drink sounds a bit more exciting than it probably is going to end up.
Picturing it as some kind of modification on the pink drink.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, because Duffy and Friends. So yeah, that sounds like a fun event. If I was actually in Southern California, I'd consider it because I do like more so the Friends than Duffy himself.
Who's your favorite friend?
Probably. Well, hold on. Let me full screen you for a second.
Okay.
So that I can go and do the big reveal. I think I've worn it on the show before, but.
Oh, okay. Well, while we figure out his, I'll say mine's Gelatoni, which should come as no surprise. The Italian cat who paints, named Tony in some way. But Kyle's, I can see what Kyle's doing now, and he is full on costume changing.
Okay. So right. I have worn this on the show before, but this is my Stella Lou hoodie. It's actually quite warm, which is why I wear it when it's cold. There's little pockets.
Did you get that in Hong Kong?
There's a tail. Tokyo.
Tokyo. Okay.
Yeah. So Stella Lou's probably my favorite, but I like a lot of them. And I'm going to take this off now because it's not cold today.
While you couldn't hear me, I told the audience mine.
Yeah, Gelatoni.
Yep. See, Kyle knows.
Yeah, I picked you up all Gelatoni in Hong Kong.
You did. Yes, you did.
So.
Rebecca hopes the drink is a Sakura beverage.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Sakura is cherry blossom, Tony.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, I'm helpful sometimes. But moving right along, Ryan Reynolds, who has been in the news lately, is signed. He has a production company called Maximum Effort, which of course you've heard in Deadpool. He says Maximum Effort. They do all sorts of things. They make ads and they also make television shows. They have their own channel on some of those free streaming services. But the company has signed a first look deal with 20th Television, and this is just for television products. They actually have a first look film deal with Paramount, but yeah, obviously this doesn't mean Ryan Reynolds is going to star in any of these projects. It just means that they develop projects, and 20th Century gets the right of first refusal. So we'll see if any of those come to fruition. And then Tony, back over, well, not back over at Hollywood Studios because it's a different thing, but we finally, after all this time of looking at concept art, got a real look at the stage setup for the new villain show.
They tried to do it in a clever way when they basically were like saying mirror, mirror on the wall. Well, it's not on the wall yet, and they hung it up. But in doing so and showing a time lapse of them hanging the mirror, we got to see the full stage.
Oh, wait a second.
Yes,
Yeah.
How do I mute this?
Right corner on the lower side, there should be a button.
We need to get the magic mirror on the wall.
I think it's the way it's embedded. I can't get to it.
Never mind. But
it's okay. So yeah, I bet this is basically what it looks. It looks like that.
Yeah, it looks like the art. Hooray for once. Not for once. I shouldn't say that, but it's pretty accurate. I'm sure somebody out there can point out how it's not, but yeah, the big screen right there in the middle and all the other mirrors around it, bringing us into the mirror realm at Disney's Hollywood Studios on Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, May 27th, same day as The Little Mermaid. Very exciting. And also exciting, Tony, some of your...
yes. I might talk a little bit more about these later, but Kiff and an Almost Christmas Story, over 3,000. So Annecy is a festival in France. It's an international film festival that specializes in animation. And every year, there are tons and tons of categories that are, tons and tons of entries that go into 6 different categories for screening and competition for the year. And for the first time ever, Disney Television Animation made it into the TV category with an episode of Kiff called Kiff is Good at Sports. But Disney Branded Television also made it with an Almost Christmas Story, the Christmas special that debuted on Disney Plus last year. So that's a pretty big deal. It might not seem like it on the surface, but for the first time in over 40 years that has come into the festival, which is growing in popularity each year. So
ever since we started going, that's how.
I noticed that.
And so Alex will be at Annecy, so I'm sure he'll be covering that. When is the festival? Do you know?
It's in June. I don't know the dates offhand. It's on that post, but real quick, catching up here. Doobie says hi to me and to Rebecca and B. Oh, Nikki B. So yeah, you're left out. Sorry. And Gio points out he's traveling because he's at the Disney Dreamers Academy down the street from me. Do you want to know the mileage?
Maybe we'll be talking more about that. But right now, we're going to be talking about something saying goodbye, as we already knew, but they're going out with one last hurrah.
Yeah, one last hurrah. There's going to be a big kind of party.
Whenever I think of bars, I think of it, hurrah! But,
Jellyrolls, the dueling piano bar at Disney's BoardWalk here at Walt Disney World, is closing. Help me out with the date on that, Kyle. But either way, it's April.
See, this is, you notice how my stories have notes under each one? This is why.
Noted for the next time, which could be Monday.
April 19th.
April 19th is when it is closing, but the last night is that night. Big party. They're going out with a bang, as you have said, which is funny to me because on that same page, it said Jellyrolls is bookable for private event. So I wonder if anybody's going to try and book it April 19th now.
Also funny that they're going out with a big bang because I've been to a dueling piano bar called the Big Bang. So
that's fun. There will be no discounts. So the bulk of their audience that I've seen is mostly cast members, locals who are used to a discounted or free admission, but it says admission is in the $20 range. And there are no discounts on that night. It's the last night. Yeah, Gio says you might also say it's last call for Jellyrolls. I think last call was when they announced it was closing. This is that last drink being served.
Are they going to get a rotund lady to sing the last song?
Perhaps. And we still don't know what's coming there or where they're going. So.
Yeah, maybe they'll announce that. And we'll see.
Doobie says he talks to you all the time. So I guess you're not important.
Yeah, that's fine. I see how it is. Well, we got some news about premiere dates for the next round of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy Masters. And you'll notice here in this photo, sure enough, yes, Pat Sajak will be hosting. I'm still not clear on whether they filmed this before he retired or whether he's actually coming back to host this. They didn't make that clear when we knew about this a few months ago, and it's not very clear now, in my opinion. But anyway, he'll be back for one last spin of the wheel. Going out with a bang, last call, but all the same puns we just made. This will happen April 30th, and some of the celebrities that'll be included in this season include Cameron Brink, Disney legend Josh Gad, Tiffany Haddish, Regina Hall, Rachel Harris, Ellie Kemper, Justin Long, Joe Manganiello. I can never say his name, but I know exactly who he is.
From the new Pee-wee movie.
There you go.
Or newest Pee-wee movie, not the new one.
Catherine McPhee, Oscar Nunez, Randall Park, Andrew Reynolds, Sam Richardson, Matt Walsh, and Rainn Wilson. And then Jeopardy Masters is not Celebrity Jeopardy, but it's people who've been on the show before and are very good at playing. So I'm not going to read their names, but you can watch that on April 30th on ABC. And then bringing things full circle to more Star Wars. If you'll recall, we talked a few months ago about how Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is coming back to theaters for a limited time. And it's not going to be, just because it's a re-release, they're not going to not release more specialty merchandise at the theaters. This is how theaters make their money nowadays. So they're going to be having a 20th anniversary popcorn bucket and a Darth Vader sipper that you'll be able to purchase during your movie-going experience. And that's going to be returning to theaters on April 25th, 1 week only. And you can find these at your local Regal cinema. And
Fred thinks that was before Pat retired. It was filmed before then.
I strongly believe that is the case, but I don't have proof. Apparently I need to log into Disney Plus real fast. So just a second. Oh, wait.
Don't share your screen.
I won't. Well, I mean, I'm sharing the screen with you, but I don't care about you.
I can't. These help me, but I can't see how tiny that is that you're typing in. So. But yeah, Gio says, is the last song going to be closing time at Jellyrolls? I would say probably not.
Probably Piano Man.
That would work. Yeah. I mean, they play that on the hour, every hour there.
Or Don't Stop Believing. And maybe they just cut it off toward like Sopranos style.
And power goes out.
There you go. That could happen. Anyway, let's take a look at the Disney Plus top 10. We're going to use the TVMA settings today because why not? Mufasa the Lion King working its way up to number 1. Look at that.
And it's not the first look at either.
Not the first look. No. Yeah. This is the last look. Daredevil Born Again. I heard it was quite good this week.
Oh.
Good American Family. A Complete Unknown just came to Hulu, the Bob Dylan biopic. I'm looking forward. Maybe I'll watch that this weekend. Probably not, but I want to. Win or Lose, still hanging in there. Number 5. That's still respectable. David Blaine's Do Not Attempt. That's a new Nat Geo series. Snow White, A Special Look, followed by the actual full-length Snow White in the original version. Stitch Has a Glitch up there, and Beauty and the Beast, as people were revisiting older live-action remakes.
I like the way you referred to the animated Snow White the first time. You could have kept that. The actual version.
That's true. Yeah.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
And speaking of abysmal, that is one adjective that is not in the title of this very long title. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip. Available today on Disney Plus. Our own Alex, incidentally, Alexander, reviewed it. And his headline is, that very long title, is bumpy but full of heart. His last paragraph. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip may not break new ground, but it's refreshing to see Disney Plus keeping the spirit of 90s live-action family comedies alive. It's easygoing, harmless fun, but designed to bring families together in a shared experience, and in that spirit, it accomplishes its goal. I give Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip 3 out of 5 Britney Spears Changed My Life t-shirts. And if you know anything about Alex, I'm sure he appreciated whatever joke that he's referencing there.
And I'm sure that also earned it another point. So,
Yeah, that alone, yeah,
yep.
surely. But we have another review from Alex, and this one is of a new Hulu series called Mid-Century Modern, which it sounds like it's basically the Golden Girls, but with guys.
Nathan Lane has said that, and that's what actually made me want to watch it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, because I mean that's totally the plot. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're acknowledging that, not trying to hide it. But
And it's got some of the same creative team apparently too.
Oh,
So-
that I didn't know. But
Yeah.
Alex, in his headline, references this fact, saying Mid-Century Modern is golden, a fresh take on a classic sitcom. A fresh take on classic sitcom charm. His very short last paragraph is, with Rachel Sharp writing a phenomenal cast and the soul of a classic sitcom, Mid-Century Modern is delightfully addictive. As soon as the final episode ends, you'll be tempted to start it all over again. He gives Mid-Century Modern 5 out of 5 Fig Newtons, which a cookie's just a cookie, Tony, but a Fig Newton is fruit and cake. Don't know if you knew that.
I did. It was a fact locked away in my brain that you just pulled out again, but it was definitely there. No, I was listening to Nathan Lane on Jesse Tyler Ferguson. There's so many 3 named actors. Mitchell from Modern Family. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. He has a podcast, and I heard Nathan Lane and him talking about that show, and he's like, "Oh, it's the Golden Girls. It's basically the Golden Girls." So
Yeah. Oh,
I was like, "Well, it has my attention."
And the rest.
so you could say that Mid-Century Modern is almost like a parody of the Golden Girls. And speaking of parodies,
Don't know about a
Tony,
parody, but okay.
shut up.
We'll go for the
It's just a
segue.
transition.
Over at the Disney's All-Star Movies Resort, as far as we could tell, I don't think there's any parodies of sports or music.
Sports parodies.
Sports parodies. Plenty of posters have debuted. It's been a while, but we finally got over there and got some pictures of them, of movie posters of mostly Disney films. I'm fairly certain. Some are 20th Century Fox, like Adventures in Babysitting. But with the Paul Rudish Mickey style characters, which is very cool. And that's a fun mural.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'm seeing that, and I just realized all of the display cases are now gone. It looks like that used to have like different stuff in them, like a display case would. But yeah, Adventures in Babysitting is probably my favorite one there because that's one of those ones not a lot of people know that movie nowadays. So,
I'm trying to think of a joke about the F word, and I can't make it.
oh,
work,
okay.
but they cut that out for Disney Plus, though, right?
I think so. They would almost have to. I know they did on PBS. Going back to that again. Pete in the Caribbean. Some of these I haven't seen. The Feisty Ducks. I kind of wanted to see the although it breaks the style, so I could see why. The Mighty Ducks one appear from Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in California.
Hmm.
Fred
those are
points
fun.
out you don't fudge with the babysitter, although I'm pretty sure it was messed with in edited scenarios, despite what lips were saying. But yeah,
Well,
those
then
are all at All-Star Movies. There's also a bunch of kind of specific merchandise that showed up at the All-Star Resorts as well. I don't expect Kyle to show that because that happened moments ago, but yes.
But this and the rest segment is where I talk about other parks sometimes. And I wanted to bring up this story in particular because before I actually read the story, I saw this image and I was like, this is the park people think is like all the rage. And it was this image. And then I found out that it's because this isn't like a feature of Epic Universe. This is bookings are now available for Dark Universe's Darkmoor Monster Makeover Experience, where guests can become their favorite Universal monsters. So Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, but on a different level and in a different genre. So that made me laugh. You could see some other photos here of the different options.
It took me a half a second to realize that kid was wearing a hood when I saw the picture. I thought for sure that like they teased up his hair or something. But yeah.
I mean, good thing he's got the fang there though, because and like the Eddie Munster Widow's Peak, because otherwise it'd almost be like put him up. She looks angry.
Yep.
That is okay.
But that could just be the makeup.
So yeah, Epic Universe coming soon, and you can book some extras now, including that, which made me laugh. So
Gio points out they've done a nice merch update to the merch over the last few months at All Stars. My big complaint is I remember when it was All Star Movies shirts, All Star Sports shirts, All Star, and now it's just All Stars.
hey now.
So
Go ahead, Tony. I apologize. Once I commit
no,
to hit the button, it's hit.
It's fine. You ruined my joke. It's okay. I was gonna say somebody once told me about the merchandise, but it's okay.
Well, you met somebody while hearing that song, probably.
Probably.
Well, we talked earlier about Doobie being at the Disney Dreamers Academy,
Yes.
and this is some of his coverage. We have a live blog. If you go onto Laughing Place, you can see all of his tweets. But this was the cavalcade that they did at Magic Kingdom. So there you got Drum Major Mickey and some entertainment people. You got some of the Dreamers. You've got Dream Ambassador Tyler Jess. See, 3 named actor messing with me.
Tyler James Williams.
Tyler James Williams. Yep. So like Jesse's not right. As Mr. Eddie on Abbott Elementary, he was Chris Rock on Everybody Hates Chris. You also have the Disney ambassador there. So the ambassador and the Dream ambassador in one place at the same time. I don't know who the designated survivor is. And we have lots of photos.
I'm guessing the other ambassador who's not there.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We have photos and videos of that. We also have some of his interviews, including one with Mr. Three Name himself, and some other ones that we're uploading still. So you can check all of that out over on Laughing Place.
Rebecca wants to know if there will be a Disney take on the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. I think Pirates League is going to be the closest you'll get to anything.
Didn't they close
of that
Pirates
nature.
League?
They did. I know on the cruise ships they still do it on Pirates Night.
Yeah.
But
I only knew that because I just watched a video about weddings on the Treasure. Anyway, moving along. The fun stuff. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and show this video that I can hear, and I'm amazing that you don't. But anyway, you didn't miss much. It's announcing the commencement speaker.
I guess it's me.
That's right. Kermit the Frog is going to be the commencement speaker at the University of Maryland. That's going to happen on May 21st. And that's very fun. Is there a Muppet Sloth? Because isn't there it says friend? I'm like, okay, so Miss Piggy, Sam Eagle. Let me go back to that frame real fast. There's a bear. So yeah, Fozzie. The last one's a sloth.
I'm sure if we go back, but there's not. I don't think there's one in the main 12.
All right. Well, you know who's not a friend to all creatures? Jason Sudeikis, or at least his character in The Mandalorian, but he got to reunite with Grogu.
Yeah, he was at Disney's Hollywood Studios recently. I don't know who let him in the door. I don't know much about The Mandalorian, but I do know that he showed up in one episode in season 1 and punched baby Grogu. So
yeah, he has him in his. He's a stormtrooper. He has him in his satchel, and he kind of hits him to get him to be quiet. This is funny.
So they let him back in, and there he is taking a selfie with his victim, and then buying a plush form of him as well. But that's not the only Mandalorian and Grogu fun. I think this is all kind of hinting at next year's arrival of the Mandalorian and Grogu coming to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge on the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. But
indeed,
synergy.
Well, now we're going to get to our newest segment.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. I'm a loser.
Tony, do you want to go first or second?
I'll do first because it was pretty obvious how excited I was earlier.
Okay.
My winner of the week is Kiff, making it into the final 30 for TV out of over 3,000 entries at the Annecy Festival. The first title, not DuckTales, not Darkwing Duck, not Phineas and Ferb, not Camp Possible. Nobody else from Disney TV animation has done that, but Kiff has made it into this competition. So at the film festival.
Very nice.
That's my winner for the week.
My winner for this week is Marvel, because they got us all to stare at chairs for 5 hours or so.
5 hours and 27 minutes.
Yeah. Apparently, how many people tune into that? I have the story here.
275 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that
Marvel,
might be 257 million. Don't quote me, but over 200 million people.
There you go. Yeah, so that was a big deal. Great marketing.
Yeah, 275 it says in the top corner there.
Okay. Marvel hasn't had the best of days lately, so it was nice to see them get a little bit of a win, even if it was, we could complain about it, be like, why are they doing this so slow? But hey, we sat there and left it open all day.
Was it Eric, the one on our team, who had just had it open all day? I kept checking back periodically.
I mean, they did have like little musical cues, so you knew when something was about to happen. So you could just have it on in the background. You didn't have to be staring at it. But yeah, it was kind of fun. Eric was the one updating the article because he is our, with Mac away, he is our certified Marvel expert. I guess you say he's another certified. It's not like Mac lost his status. It's just that he's not around as much anymore. Anyway. My loser of the week is Disneyland's Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, because it was such a step ahead of Walt Disney World's. And then since then, you've not only had other versions get updates, like even in Paris and things like that. The Shanghai version blows it out of the water. The Ant-Man and the Wasp is not a Buzz Lightyear attraction, but you could see what could be done with it. So now it's going to be the odd one out. It's going to be the loser of the family of attractions. So Tony, the only thing that I think they can do at this point is don't bother trying to catch up. Don't do the same update as Walt Disney World. What you're going to do is keep the name, tear down the rest of the building, and just use this. Bring this back from Disney Quest.
Yep.
And you'll have a different version of Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters, where you play bumper cars while shooting dodgeballs out of cannons and scaring small children half to death.
And you could even, and if I don't know if the circle vision aspect of that building is still intact, but if you have that circular structure still, project Starfield and stuff onto it, it would be great. And it would bring kind of old Tomorrowland back to current Tomorrowland as a weird spiritual successor to the Flying Saucers, because those were basically next level bumping cars.
And these work.
And those function, and we know that. And they until they get shot with the other dodgeball. But yes.
So yeah, that's my pitch and my loser for the week. Who is your loser of the week?
My loser for the week, I was almost going to say the Marvel chairs, because they ended on somebody we almost knew, or we already knew.
That's true.
The biggest reveal ever could have been that last spot. And they didn't take that advantage. But after careful consideration, I pushed that one aside and said, anybody who parked in the Pixar Pals structure the night that high-speed chase ended there, because that was now a crime scene and they couldn't get to their car for over 3 hours.
Wow. I didn't know it was that. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have, read our article.
I was reading all the socials from people who had parked there, and basically they couldn't get to their car for hours. So their day got extended. And
if you're in a high-speed chase, I know criminals aren't known for being particularly smart, but why would you drive to Disneyland and try to go into a parking structure? Like, what was the plan there?
Did he think it was like an automated thing, and he could have just went in there and no, there's humans?
No,
but
bad deal. But anyway, who's that person might not have been very smart, but now we're going to see how smart Tony is.
Real quick before you start, Rebecca thinks Muppet Beauregard is being a sloth. Are we typecasting because he's a janitor, so he's not doing much? Is that what you're saying? But and then Gio wants to do the Astro Blasters. He likes your pitch, but take down the plexiglass.
Oh,
So just get shot in the face with a dodgeball.
no,
I
see,
guess.
I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Not a fan. All right, Tony. On this day in 1955, someone was born. She was a voice in The Fox and the Hound 2.
Oh,
Yeah, The Fox and the Hound 2.
I'm already out. Keep going.
She also did a voice in Hercules, the animated series, and she is in Spies in Disguise. But she is much, much, much more well known as a country singer, and I think she has a sitcom currently on the air.
Reba?
That should narrow it down. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Reba McEntire. Happy birthday to Reba.
I did not know she was in Fox and the Hound 2.
Who would?
Yeah. Movies, they don't need sequel stuff.
There's
What were the other
not
ones you said? Spies in Disguise?
Spies
Never
in
saw it.
Disguise, yeah. There is not an easy way to do this one without giving it away. So I'll say on this day in 1987, something opened at the Glendale Galleria.
The Disney store?
Yeah, if you can believe it, that is
It was
the
either going to
Disney
be that
store.
or that cafe that never really took off.
Hold that thought, Tony.
Oh, okay.
The very first Disney store at the Glendale Galleria. Nice work. Tony, if you can believe it, this is kind of crazy. On the same day, but in 1990, something opened at the Montclair Plaza. What is it?
That cafe thing.
That cafe thing is called Mickey's Kitchen.
Mickey's Kitchen. That's what it was.
Yeah, so this was next
I
to the
might have
Disney
that.
store at Montclair Plaza.
There we go.
I don't remember if they opened more. I think there's a defunct land about it. And didn't take off.
If there were any, it was like 4. Like they
Yeah.
were a very small number.
Like Disney Quest. On this
Is that
day,
what did the third, or was it just the 2?
I think it just got to
Okay.
2 and a whole.
Okay.
This day in 1997, a Touchstone picture was released starring Marlon Wayans and Kadeem Hardison, and it had cameos from real life people like Jerry Tarkian. See, I don't know, but it had Dick Vitale, who I know you've written a lot about over the years. So it's also, so I've talked to, I think you and I have talked about this, how there's like certain movies that you might not have actually seen them, but you just know the poster because you saw them at Blockbuster all the time. This is, I would say, this is a Blockbuster poster movie.
I'm picturing it's basketball related.
It is basketball related. Yes. You could have inferred that from the
I guess from Dickie V. Yeah. I don't know its name offhand.
It's called The Sixth Man.
That's not the poster I was picturing. The poster I was picturing looked more like Celtic Pride, but with Marlon Wayans.
Okay.
It was more of a back to the back kind of thing.
Yeah. There might be one of those as well, but this is just the one that I found on Google right away. But yeah, The Sixth Man in general, I feel it. And Don't Be a Menace. Don't Be a Menace is 100% a Blockbuster poster movie.
1,000%.
Go ahead.
Rebecca says her favorite Galleria memory, though, despite her being the local Disney store, was a Nick at Night mall tour. So I will be messaging her about that later.
Interesting.
I'm very curious.
I used to love the WB stores. I liked Taz, so I remember getting Taz slippers, but then also they had those like computer stations where you could do like a paint thing, like you tap the paint and you tap a section. Anyway.
They also sold animation cells that came to life, and it was just like almost like a multi-plane kind of thing, and you would just hit a button and then stuff would pop up, and
that's fun.
It's a headlining thing on the Disney Treasure, but people could buy them for their homes on smaller versions.
Yeah. Well, Tony, on this day in the year 2000, something that was previously banned at Disney parks was unbanned. Can you guess what that is?
Flying over them? No, that was 2000. So,
yeah, that wouldn't have been banned yet.
Unbanned in 2000. That was banned
for cast members.
What? Facial hair? No, because that was.
I mean, I'm gonna give it to you. Mustaches.
Yeah.
Were banned all the way until the year 2000.
So I'm like, now I can work there looking like this, but in 2006 when I did, I could not, but I could have a mustache.
On this day in 2001, something officially debuted at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Something that, depending on how old you are, you hate and are glad is no longer there.
Oh,
or
the hat.
you are so sad to
Yep.
see it go because
Yep.
it's the icon of the park, Tony.
And it was supposed to be outside of the park, and the ears were supposed to be Ferris wheels. Go back and look at some art. It's fun. But yeah, no.
Instead, it's a pin shop blocking this.
Instead, it was a pin. Hey, there were interactive kiosks too. They didn't have coloring, they had trivia.
Finally, on this day in 2002, a video game involving Disney made its debut.
Was that the Magical World Racing Tour?
No.
Oh, I
much
missed that
bigger.
game.
Much
Actually,
bigger.
I still have
game.
it. I just have no system to play it on. Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, yes. For the PlayStation 2 has gone on to spawn numerous sequels, none of which I can tell you the names of because they have just the most insane naming. We'll get emails sometimes for like this new version that's like a re-release, but it's a redux of this one thing. There's like decimals, and it's just the most confusing thing that's ever happened.
Fred points out he never got into that game. I tried. It at least the original, and this is probably why it's so successful, leaned very heavily into the Final Fantasy aspect, and that is
It's basically Final
gameplay for
Fantasy,
me.
but with Disney characters.
Yeah, I do not. Everybody who loves it, enjoy it, have fun. That is not for me. So
no, me neither.
Rebecca, Rebecca says Magical World Racing Tour. I want that back. They're restoring and like 4King all these new games. I want them to do that with this one for sure. But they got to keep it intact. Don't give me the updated versions of the rides. Like I want old test track music while I'm getting my coins. Yeah.
What some of our most popular tweets ever have been the in-park Kingdom Hearts characters. So I know that lots of people love it.
Yeah.
But
especially
Tony,
overseas too.
That's the end. We've made it to the end. It was actually a pretty decently long show. Let me just take a look and see if there's anything breaking. I did check around 10 o'clock. I didn't see anything. I mean, there's a couple like little stories that we'll hold till Monday to make sure we have something to talk about on Monday. But
if Doobie's back, I'm sure you'll talk all about Dreamers Academy.
Yeah, hopefully that happens. But that'll do it for us over here. Like I said, at 1 o'clock Pacific, we'll have a walk and talk with, I think it'll be Mike. Maybe Eric will make cameo. But we'll have that right here on Laughing Place. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you know when we go live. Because Doobie is at the Dreamers Academy, there will not be trivia tomorrow. So just FYI, if you are working that into your weekend plans. But we should be back on Monday in one form or another. I have not checked the schedule, but that's why I'm going to put an asterisk on that. But anyway, I hope you all have a great day and a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.